All right. I am about to go live reading Sulwe, children's book by Lupita and Nyong'o for We Stories. And so I'm going to record it, but I have my phone here because this is live on Instagram. And we are just about ready to start. Hello. Oh my. So I am Nichols. I am an artist from St. Louis, Missouri. I currently live in Cambridge, Massachusetts, but right now I'm in Memphis, Tennessee with my family because of the coronavirus. And so it's such a great and enjoyable opportunity to be able to join with you all, the We Stories community, and read one of my favorite children's books, which is Sulwe by Lupita and Nyong'o. I believe this book came out last year, and I relate a lot to it because as a dark-skinned person, the story and the journey that this character goes through in order to love herself and feel her worth relates a lot to my own journey when I was a kid. So it's a joy. We'll let a few more people join in, and then I'll get started with reading it. And of course, if you have this book at your home, feel free to open it up and read along with me. And perhaps by the end, we can also have a few, Q&A. If you write questions in the comments, I can answer them once I'm done reading. Sulwe was born the color of midnight. She looked nothing like her family. Not even a little, not even at all. Mama was the color of dawn. Baba, the color of dusk. That's Baba, her dad. And Meech, her sister, was the color of the high noon. Hardly anyone at school looked like Sulwe either. People gave her sister Mish pet names like Sunshine and Ray and Beauty. People gave Sulwe names like Blackie and Darky and Night. And Sulwe felt hurt every single time. So she hid away while her sister made lots of friends. Sulwe dreamed of being the same color as her sister. She wanted real friends too. So she tried. She got the biggest eraser she could find, and she tried to rub off a layer or two of her darkness. She crept into Mama's room and helped herself to her makeup. Oh no! She would hear about this from Mama. That's Sulwe trying to use her mom's makeup to make her skin lighter. Sulwe decided to work from the inside out and only ate the lightest, brightest foods. Can you all pick out some of the foods that she was trying to eat? I see bread, bananas, some oats and crackers. She only wanted to eat the light stuff. With a stomach ache, Sulwe went to bed early and turned to God for a miracle. This was her prayer. Dear Lord, why do I look like midnight when my mother looks like dawn? Please make me as fair as the parents I'm from. I want to be beautiful, not just to pretend. I want to have daylight. I want to have friends. If you hear me, my Lord, and would like to comply, may I wake up as bright as the sun in the sky. Amen. When Mama came in to wake her up for school the next morning, Sulwe rose to find not a trace of daylight in her midnight skin. Sulwe told Mama everything. Mama asked, "What is your name?" "Sulwe," she muttered. "And what does that mean?" "Star," Sulwe whispered. Brightness is not in your skin, my love. Brightness is just who you are. As for beauty, Mama said, rubbing Sui's stomach the way she always did to comfort her, you are beautiful. Sui sighed. Well, you are beautiful to me, but you can't rely on what you look like to make you feel beautiful, my love. Real beauty comes from your mind and your heart. It begins with how you see yourself, not how others see you. Now up you get and out you go. How could she, as dark as she was, have brightness in her? How could she have beauty when no one but her mother seemed to see it? That night, a shooting star appeared at Sui's window. The night sent me, the star said. Come with me. This is one of my favorite scenes. It's so magical, the star. Sui hopped onto the star and off they went. Long ago, at the beginning of time, said the star, there was night and day, and they were sisters. They loved each other very much. But people didn't treat the sisters the same. People gave day pet names, like lovely and nice and pretty. And people gave night names like scary and bad and ugly. She felt hurt every time. Well, night got fed up and walked right off of the earth. Day stayed behind and enjoyed making everybody happy in the sun. But then day grew too long. Day began to really miss her sister, and so did everybody else. There had to be a way to get her back. Day set off to find Night. And she did. I miss you, said Day. I miss you too, said Night. But you don't know what it's like to be treated badly for being dark. You're right, I don't, Day replied. But what do I know? What I do know is that we need you just the way you are. Night returned, and the people rejoiced. We need the darkest night to get the deepest rest. We need you so that we can grow and dream and keep our secrets to ourselves. The stars chimed in. Brightness isn't just for daylight. Light comes in all colors. And sunlight can only be seen in the dark. So while day had a golden glow, with night everything had a silver sheen, elegant and fine. Day told her sister, when you are darkest is when you are most beautiful. It's when you are most you. Could it be that night did not need to change? Not even a little. Not even at all. Now that night and day were back together, a little bit of night returned to day in the form of shadows, and a little bit of day returned to night in the form of moonlight. They were inseparable from that moment on, and promised to celebrate the brightness in each other, whether people chose to see it or not. You see, the star explained, we need them both, on their sunniest day and their darkest night, and every shade in between. Together, they make the world we know, light and dark, strong and beautiful. So we rose the next morning beaming. There would be no hiding anymore. She belonged out in the world, dark and beautiful, bright and strong. And if she ever needed a reminder of her brightness, she could look up at the sky on the darkest night to see herself. Sulwe felt beautiful inside and out. The end. Wow. So yes, I can read this book every day if I had to. It's such a favorite. And in the same way that Sulwe is reminded by the night sky how beautiful her darkness is, I think that we all can find things in our lives, especially right now, that reminds us of both our inner beauty and our outer beauty, but also the beauty of the world. I think right now it is more critical for us to see the beauty and the strength and the love within each other. And so I hope that as you read this book and as you read others, you're able to help your young people also see their beauty, also see their strength, and also find their courage to get through all that we're experiencing right now. So, I'm going to put the book down for a moment. And if any of you have questions or any things that you would like to share, I would love to, take at least the next 5 minutes and respond to it. Oh, thank you. I love you too. Yeah, and Gina, dark and beautiful, bright and strong. I think they all go hand in hand, indeed. So Adelaide is asking, how did I learn about the book? Honestly, it was through Lupita. I follow her all over social media, and I saw that she had written a book. And as soon as it came out, actually before it came out, I knew that I wanted to own it, to read it. This is actually my second copy of it. I have another copy back home in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and I think learning about it from the writer and not just seeing it on a shelf really increased my desire to own it and to read it, because I felt like that. I felt the heart. I felt the joy. I felt the intentionality that she put into it. And so, yeah, it was through her. What are some of my other favorite books right now? Glad you asked. Prior to this break, I had just finished reading Children of Blood and Bone and Children of Vengeance and Virtue by Tomi Adeyemi. And Tomi is an alum of the university where I'm a fellow, and this book just takes you on such an adventure. And when I was a younger person, I never got the chance to read Harry Potter, and I never read Lord of the Rings. And part of it was that I didn't necessarily relate to the characters directly. And so for this artist who is truly African American, she creates this narrative and this journey that just sucked me right in. So I just finished those two. Right now, I am reading a book by Octavia Butler called Parable of the Sower. And it relates a lot to what we're experiencing right now in terms of thinking about a dystopic society in the midst of climate change, in the midst of economic depression and downturn. And that's been a really riveting one to read right now as well. Another question, will I write a children's book one day? Also glad you asked that. I am currently writing my first book. It's in between children and young adult. It's for youth ages 11 to 18. With Bonnier UK, they have a children's book imprint called Templar, and I am writing a book called The Art of Protest. That's nonfiction through their Templar, like their children's imprint. And I'm super, super excited to publish this. It's been great writing, especially right now when I have a little bit more time on my hands. And I'll be able to work with multiple illustrators from all across the world in order to tell the stories of various artists like myself who've utilized their creativity and their gifts to help people within protest movements and social movements visualize their voice and find their own visual voice. And so I'm excited to write. I expect that if everything goes well, it will be out by October 2021, if not before. Sweet deal. Well, thank you all again. Oh, here's another. Will any of my artwork go into the book, or will I curate it? I'll be more so helping to edit and curate the illustrations. In my writing process, I've started writing the narrative so that there are specific names in works of art that are, or scenes that are very visual to illustrate, or easy to illustrate. And so that's been really great. And the editors so far, they've just been, I don't know, I feel like I'm really leading this process. So it's been great. In terms of me illustrating myself, I don't know. I am admittedly not the most confident illustrator. And so I prefer to just allow more space for people who have mastery in that particular art form. Yeah. Sweet deal. Well, thank you all again. It's been such a joy to read this book. Like I said, if you don't have it, please, please, please go out and support it, and share it with even more young people in your lives. And I will be sure to do the same. And until next time, support We Stories. Keep this going. And of course, follow me in my journey as well. So that was super awesome. I truly enjoyed reading to the We Stories family and community. And I hope that I get a chance to do more of these types of videos again. I don't know. I love reading, and I love being able to read with people. And so in the comments, actually, I'll share my book list in the comments with you all. I have the Deliberate and Unafraid book list, which you can check out on my website. It's all the books that I've read in recent years that relate to social justice, activism, race issues, and people who have just, trailblazed a way of speaking up on behalf of their communities and people who have been targeted and marginalized with injustice. And then on my Instagram, definitely feel free to join in the Read with D. I guess it's a list on my, how do you do this? I can show you. I can show you better than I can tell you. There we are. So on my Instagram, whatever these are called, these things, one of the first ones is called a Read with D, and you can see all of the books that I read, that I share with people. Yeah. Lots of my faves. And this is us today. So yeah, if you like this video, and if you would like to see more videos of me just reading in general, definitely feel free to like this video, subscribe to my page, keep following along in my journey, especially as I make the official announcement about writing my own book. Until next time.